A plea from a mother of 2 young boys to the government.
I just want to ask them, begging them to give us a chance to stay here. Even though I know the law is the law. I can't survive in Tonga. I have nothing there. I have no house. I have no land. My boys grew up here. They wanted to be here with their friends. They wanted to go to school.
This is Tina Veaila and her boys Tony, aged 14, and Veaila, aged 8. Just days ago, their dad was detained and deported to Tonga, and now they are all facing the same fate, given Tina too has been ordered to leave.
And when I start talking, they both broke down, fall down and cry their heart out.
That's when you told them that their dad had been taken away?
Taken away, he's in prison. And I said, son, we are overstayers. No, mom, we are New Zealand citizens. We were born in here. I can't explain, son, to you. No, you can't say that. We can't go back to Tonga. We're not going to go back. We want to stay here. We want to go to school. Our friends in here, mom. You know, it's really hard. We both crying. And that makes me so happy on that time. And I said to myself, now I will fight for them.
Tina and her husband are overstayers. The boys were unaware that they were technically here illegally too. They were both born here, are thriving at school, and know little about Tonga. How are your boys? I mean, this must be very difficult for them at the moment.
The little one is still, he's still young. He can't understand. He is all right with him. But the big one, the older boy, 14, he was really, really broken.
The family's lawyer, Sione Foliaki, believes immigration officials acted without respect or care, and he questioned whether the family were interviewed thoroughly prior to deportation notices being issued.
Then I've seen the interview notes, and it's just a box-ticking exercise. There's very few notes there that talks about, hey, there's 2 children involved here, they were born here, they've grown up here, one's 14 and one's 8, and one is very, very ill and can't travel.
General, you okay?
The 14-year-old Tony was in bed when the Herald arrived at the family's home. Medical notes seen by the Herald show he was admitted to hospital late last month due to the distress of his father being deported. And his GP warned just the day before his mother was due to be deported to Tonga that he had pneumonia and should not travel. Foliaki is critical of the immigration officer's approach.
But the problem was, if they did their job properly, they would have known this boy is too ill to travel. He's sick. But if you're in a situation where you just barge in and you do your job, tell them what to do, I'm off, you guys are leaving tomorrow at 11 o'clock, otherwise we're going to pick you up and forcibly remove you. And I think that's what's happened here. If proper communication, due respect, the due diligence was done by the immigration officers, this would not have happened.
But Immigration New Zealand says Tina was initially compliant and willing to leave. A spokesperson said she wished to return to Tonga and be with her husband. They went on to say if she had mentioned the children were unwell or unable to fly, we would have rescheduled the flights accordingly. But Tina told the Herald she was confused by the process and believed she and her boys had no other option but to leave as instructed.
So I said to them, yes, I will go back to my husband because you said we don't have any way to stay in here.
The parents have been here unlawfully for about 7 years after they failed to get their work visas renewed.
The cynics will say to you, well, you can't use the fact that they've been here to reward them. They've been unlawful for so long. The cynics would say that. But the reality is they're well-settled migrants. They've made a contribution to New Zealand, a huge one. They're working people and they pay taxes. They go to church, they're law-abiding citizens, 2 kids brilliant at school. Yeah, you would expect the minister to exercise the discretion to grant them resident status.
On what basis? On the basis that it would be very disruptive, especially to the children who are halfway through their education and doing very well?
These children will regress, their development will just be out the window.
And Tina, it sounds like your husband is a hard-working man.
He is a hard-working man.
What does he do for work?
He was a labourer.
And he pays his taxes?
Yes.
And you yourself also work to try and bring in income for the family, is that right?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I do baking every day, every night.
Selling it to the local community?
Selling to the local community.
What do you bake?
I bake pies. It's called jam pies.
A request for ministerial intervention in the case has been accepted by Associate Immigration Minister Chris Pink, who says compliance action will not be taken by Immigration New Zealand while the decision is being made.